Greetings, beautiful souls. This is Messages with Divine Tarot, and this message is for both divine masculine and divine feminine collective energy. Now, in a series of Pick a Stone, we have established videos already that give you the option of these three stones to choose from, whichever stone resonates with you the most. However, in the first half of the series, in which Divine Masculine reading has suffered from, I have made some mistakes in the identity of the stone. So I'm going to take this opportunity to re-record in the order of which it should be presented, the correct identities for each stone. Okay, and you will pick a stone that resonates with you the most, of course. And then I will follow up with a tarot reading, going into an oracle pull for each stone, and then a tarot reading covering the recent past, current energies, hidden potentials, and obstacles as it relates to your present future. And I will do that individually for each stone. We have already covered Divine Masculine in a three-part video series for each of these stones, and we are now moving on to the Divine Feminine readings. Okay, so I will give the opportunity for those to resonate with the stones as presented. Here we have a green fluorite cluster. Okay. And you can take a look at that stone. Very beautiful formation. Nice luster for a natural stone. Moving forward, we have a green and watermelon or rainbow fluorite point. Okay. And then last but not least, we have our malachite, or malachite, as I will call, heavy hitter. But our malachite rock formation. And I think that this is just a beautiful stone. I mean, look at that. It's quite heavy too. Okay, so starting with the green fluorite cluster, I want to start with the Divine Feminine Energies reading. I'm going to just recalibrate here so we have space for the cards. Now, I'll let you know that it has taken about 2 weeks for me to get back to these readings. The energy has been so, not overwhelming, but plentiful and abundant, that Spirit has guided me to allow there to be a moment in my own schedule, after having taken care of myself, before I gave these readings for Divine Feminine. So I've been meditating quite a while. And I'm happy to say we're finally here. So if you resonate with the green fluorite cluster, this is your reading. In these readings, I ask that you take the energies where they resonate and leave the energy that does not resonate alone. You may have to move the energies around to make it make sense for you. And if you find that you move the energies around and it still does not make sense for you, the message that is, then this reading is not for you, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, these cards are pre-shuffled. This is the Awakening Intuition deck. Oracle cards that give us insight and tools on how to awaken our intuition. Embrace your unicorn destiny, Divine Feminine. Your life was not destined to look exactly like anyone else's, and you are receiving intuitive guidance now about an aspect of your special destiny. Be like the unicorn and embrace your uniqueness. Destiny is calling. Think of destiny as more fluid than fixed. Actively intuit and pursue yours. That's number 14 or 5. Create your energy instead of mirroring it. Humans mirror the energy they encounter in others or in the world. Instead of being reactive, generate energy proactively. What type of energy would you like to experience? Let it begin within you. Energy is infectious, so others may mirror back to your healing energy. Mindfully expose yourself to the energies you wish to cultivate. I agree. And then lastly, that was number 54 or 9. Practice clairvoyancy. Okay. You're being encouraged to explore your capacity for second sight, or the psychic pathway of seeing intuitive guidance as images in your mind. If you already experience clairvoyance while your eyes are open, this ability may be increasing. If not, practice by sitting with your eyes closed in meditation, allowing images to appear. And that is number 10, numbers 1 and 0. I'm getting a sense there's a call to be mindful here in all of the cards pulled from the Oracle deck. Be mindful of your uniqueness. Be mindful of mirroring energy and or creating energy. And be mindful of a clairvoyant gift that some of you may hold. I want to pull a card, an overall message card ahead of this reading. I'm being called to do that. It was a call to me in earlier in my meditation before I started this reading, as well as clarifying the identities of these stones. And again, these cards are pre-shuffled. Just want to pull an overall message card for this reading. And we're going to hide this card until the end of the reading and then flip it and discuss that card as an overall message. Spirit, can I have a message of foresight for this reading? Oh, whoa. Won't look at that card. The card that we need has come out. And I have this big, beautiful crocodile or celestial amethyst that is available on sanctuaryandhome.life. It's somewhat of a rare amethyst formation that was only found in the mines in Brazil that have since been shut down, given the novelty coronavirus. Just some of the things that we have here on Sanctuary and Home. So that card we're going to flip over, and now we're going to get into the tarot. Now, Divine Feminine Collective, if you have tuned in to any of the Divine Masculine readings, I have switched, or not switched, but gone with the flow and style of the reading, though I still do cover the recent past, current energies, hidden potentials, hidden influences and obstacles or potentials as it pertains to your current future. I do want to say, Divine Feminine energy, that there is a call to balance both Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energies. I'm hearing a call from my grandmother, who was also clairvoyant. And I'm seeing the duality that she held in her presence in my life, at least. And as graceful and as regal and elegant she was, you know, she was still a strong woman who wouldn't mind hemming you up or switching you if it meant, you know, discipline for your better good. Yeah, that was just a message that came in. I don't know why. I'm trying to be more obedient these days. I'm working on being more obedient these days. Wow. Nine of Swords. Wow, look at that. That just flew out, huh? The Devil. Oof. Whoa. The Justice in reverse. The Temperance. Wow. Okay, let's just put this down for a second. So I think I have more than 5 cards here. So I'll be honest with you. Divine Masculine, either in the second read or the first read, I can't remember exactly which one, had a very similar card pull. Except the Devil card came out with the Temperance card. And the Justice card came out with a 7 of Swords card. No, I think the Devil came out with the Judgment card, and the Justice card came out with the 7 of Swords. However, there was a 7 of 9 card pull, and both the first masculine and second masculine Divine Masculine conscious reading. Is my coal still lit? It's been about an hour. It's probably out. Ten of Wands in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. Divine Feminine, I'd warn you that this is a year of karma. And what we put out, we get back tenfold. Especially in this year of 8. And in the Chinese year of dragon, you know, it's a fiery karmatic year. So karma rolls around quick this year. A lot of people will be receiving their justice karma from their past actions, whether it been last year or karma rolling around from past lives. I don't want to alarm you with this reading. I'm just gonna Divine Feminine. I'm just gonna clear. Yeah. I just want to refortify myself dealing with this reading because I'm going to use some of this anointing oil too. For my own self, rub some of my Rajana, because I get the sense the divine feminine energy has been out for self-gain. But I'm not sure. I'm going to go deeper into these cards. Whatever the energy is here, there's some for you guys. It has definitely, noticeably taken some of my energy. So I've got my book here, right? Nine of Swords is about restlessness, being kept up at night, anxiety, insomnia. The Devil card is about temptation. It's about addiction, negative habits, just all around things that don't serve you. The Justice is essentially justice. And I usually equate that to Spirit agreeing with me. This card and the Judgment card is usually my yes and or no card, depending on how it comes up. Temperance is all about balance, creativity, resurgence, spring, for me. Yeah, it's like the life-death card, balance. Then you've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. You have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. So, I'm going to read the Three of Pentacles and its reverse position. Wheel of Fortune and its reverse position, just so you kind of understand what the Wheel of Fortune is about. And then I'm going to read all the reverse cards, because these cards I pretty much explained. Okay, so starting with the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Meaningful work collaboration. The three symbolizes successful teamwork. A group of different people have come together to achieve an early success. In the reverse position, the card can point to tedium and mediocrity, particularly in matters of career and or exhaustion and burnt out, which is how I feel all of a sudden. Especially given that I just took a 30-minute nap. Consider ways to turn this situation around. So I'm definitely picking up on this reverse energy from the Three of Pentacles. So I'm going to say that this is prevalent to the reading. Going back to Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And I'll read it upright and reverse for you guys. It says here that Wheel of Fortune reminds us that life is always in flux. There are many symbols on this card, representative of dozens of life cycles we experience. That goes back to, well, if you watch the Divine Masculine readings, I talk about cycles, completing and walking into cycles, because we do here on this plane go through several life cycles from our birth to our completion, which would be our death. And then remember that death is not the end. Death is only the beginning to a new cycle. But hopefully in our death we do not continue a cycle here on this plane with the same circumstances, same obstacles, because that means that we haven't made the transition, or for all intents and purposes we haven't learned from our mistakes. Okay? Dozens of life cycles that we experience. There is an aspect of the Wheel of Fortune that foretells good luck and success. Often when the quadrant is marking good decisions anyway. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble. Querent is marking good decisions anyway. The Wheel of Fortune encourages optimism and faith that the universe will grant a good outcome. The universe is unpredictable and sometimes chaotic, but will take care of us as if we are open to it. Or take care of us if we are open to it. In the reverse position, the Wheel of Fortune indicates that things have come to a standstill, or perhaps closure. But be aware of whether you are trying to resist fate. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure that my computer doesn't fall asleep on me. I'm having trouble with keeping it awake. Be aware if whether you are trying to resist fate. Anything you try to avoid would inevitably come back to haunt you. Consider the immediate and long-term effects of your actions. So essentially, we go through these life cycles. In each cycle, you want to you want to learn from all of your lessons in each cycle, because the lessons in this cycle prepare us for the actions to be taken in the next cycle. And when we learn from our mistakes, or from our environment, or from whatever the situation is here that's placed in front of us to learn from, or around us to learn from, then the next cycle essentially becomes easier to navigate, and it builds confidence, it builds reassurance, that we can move more ourselves throughout life. But when you avoid certain things, if there is a lesson here to learn in this life cycle, okay, and you refuse to learn this lesson, you're going to have to learn it in the next life cycle, on top of what's already destined or predestined for you to learn in that cycle. So it's like giving yourself extra work the further you go along in life. And it's not something that you want to do. You don't want to be in your 50s, learning the lessons that you would have learned in your 20s or 30s. So, like it says here, be mindful that you are not resisting fate. Anything you try to avoid will inevitably come back to haunt you. Consider the immediate and long-term effects of your actions. I would heed that morning, Divine Feminine Collective. What's next? We've got sword energy here. Knight of Swords. Well, actually, I want to do Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords. Betrayal, backstabbing, release. The figure in the Ten of Swords has been stabbed in the back. If this card represents you, someone has betrayed you or attacked you out of hatred, jealousy, or revenge. Believe that you can be free from poison. In a reverse position, which it is, the Ten of Swords indicates that you might be at least partly culpable for the terrible way things have gone. Okay, it's about taking accountability here. Yeah, divine feminine energy, it seems like you're, well, I don't want to jump the gun here. Let me just read the cards. But I get an energy sense. I get the feeling that some of us are trying to avoid our lessons. And I think that that lesson may be avoiding temptation, or at least resisting temptation, because you can't avoid temptation, right? It's presented to you, you can't avoid it. You have to face temptation and say, no, I'm not interested. Or even if I am interested, I know this doesn't serve me. And so the answer is no. Okay, Divine Feminine Collective, but it seems as if the devil is here, tempting you with either a certain kind of habit or addiction or environment that you may be giving into. See, because the Justice card is in reverse too. But you know this goes against your nature, which is why the Nine of Swords is here, keeping you up with insomnia and anxiety. Yeah. However, also I'm getting that you're not purposefully doing this. This might be happening because you're not mindful. You're not being mindful of the cycle that you're in. Okay, because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse talks about being mindful of cycles and the lessons that we need to learn. Right? Because I'll show you. With the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, guess who's on top of the Wheel of Fortune? It's the devil energy. You know, it's the serpent energy. If it was in the upright position, the Wheel of Fortune would be above the devil, on top of the devil, with all of these more prophetic deities guiding you. You see here. But that is not the case. In Divine Feminine Energy, it may be for you to do a little bit more research on what it is that you think you know. I'm going to read the Justice card in reverse. Well, let me read the Temperance card since I'm here, just to give you guys some information about the Temperance. The angel in this card pours water from a silver cup to a gold cup, combining elements. Temperance allows us to flourish emotionally, creatively, and spiritually due to having all the elements of our life flowing together in harmonious balance. This principle represented by the placement of the angel's feet on land and in water. If you are struggling with addiction or imbalance, instead of forcing yourself to abstain from something, make improvements in other areas where your life so that they will provide you with the satisfaction you are looking for. Again, this is going towards this Temperance card seems to be in relation to the Devil card. Maybe there is some type of addiction here that you may be attached to. There's some type of attachment to something that doesn't serve you. Let's say that. And, there's no justice there. Temperance card is calling you to not try to go cold turkey But let's also read the Justice card in reverse, and I'll read it in both positions. Justice is simply the representation of fairness and balance. It reminds us that we are always responsible for our actions and that there are consequences for everything. Justice also represents truth. It encourages finding truth, though the facts, finding truth through the facts and by being thorough. See, yeah. That's why with the Wheel of Fortune, I was saying it may be to study and do research on what it is that you may think you know. Being thorough. Do not be too hasty to deal out judgment before knowing the full truth. Okay? In the reverse position, which this is, judgment indicates undue feelings of injustice. Pity parties. Even though things haven't turned out in your favor, the outcome of this situation is actually best and most fair for everyone involved. At an extreme, this lack of perspective manifests as so many forms of prejudice, bias, and injustice. Racism, xenophobia, sexism are just a few examples. All right, let me put the book down because I think I've touched it, and we're going to clarify the cards. I really am getting a feel for this energy here. Excuse my elbow. Spirit, can we get... Let's see. Spirit be knowing. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's see what the card is. Four of Coins. You're holding on to something. You're holding on to something. Whether it be a way of thinking, whether it be a feeling, it could be that feeling of injustice that you're holding on to that keeps you in this devil energy. Three of Pentacles. Judgment in reverse for the Three of Pentacles. Seven of Swords in reverse. It's almost like you're betraying yourself. And I'll read the Judgment in reverse just so you know. I have to be careful with this book. The Judgment card signals that we have changed in some deep way. If you have pulled the Judgment card, you were going through a rite of passage. This rite of passage readies to progress to the final achievement of this go round of your fool's journey. Yeah, this go round of your cycle. A divine judgment call is being made upon your actions and growth. Or perhaps you are being called upon to take a judgment call, to make a judgment call. Critical thinking is important at this time, but be careful of being overly critical, again with the Justice card. Make sure that we're not passing judgment. We're not being too critical. At its extreme, judgment indicates an excessively critical mindset that inhabits us from succeeding. Okay, do you guys hear the theme here? The Judgment card represents forgiveness, release, and the celebration of new life as we rise to higher calling. Now, that's it in the upright. I don't know if you guys are following and hearing the theme here. The theme seems that somebody is being a little judgmental, holding on to some ideals or some type of way of thinking that is not serving them. And it's starting to show. Because the devil is on top. Not only is he on top of your current energy, but he's on top of your fortune. And that's not a good sign. I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be scary, but this is the energy here. That divine feminine collective, those who have resonated with this green fluorite cluster here, this is the message Spirit has for you. In the reverse position, which it is, judgment suggests that you are being overly critical and thereby killing any possibility of a spiritual awakening. Whew. Make an effort to be less critical and see what opens up for you. Okay. I don't even think I need to clarify any cards, but I do want to clarify the cards with my all-telling deck here, because there's got to be some type of message to walk you through these steps. You have to come from this devil energy. You have to come from this attachment that you have to the way that you think and the way that you are acting when it comes to pretty much everything in your life. You can't sleep. You can't find justice. You feel injustice. You're being judgmental. You're being hasty. Being critical. Imbalanced. Not taking accountability. I didn't even get to the King of Cups, so let's start with the King of Cups here. This sounds like toxicity. Divine, feminine collective. Are you toxic? Energy is saying that you're in a toxic energy right now. Not gonna hold you. Okay. Ace of Swords, yeah. Help is on the way. But also, with the Four of Cups here, you are definitely pining over something that doesn't serve you. You're distracted by things that may look a certain way, but it really has no value, or it at least isn't helpful. Hierophant. Yeah, Sagittarius energy, also getting Capricorn energy, also Aquarius energy, Ten of Swords, betrayal. Ten of Swords came out again. Let me put that over here. King of Cups. Queen of Cups. So with the King of Cups in reverse, I get the sense that your heart and your mind is not settled with each other. The Queen of Cups is coming in, or the energy of the Queen of Cups is coming in for some of you to help walk you towards your spiritual path, to make this balance within yourself. And with the Hierophant energy here, there is a sense to open up to community and to be confident in your wisdom, but not arrogant though. The Hierophant is a giver. She's a community giver. He's a community giver and works deep within the community. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Whoa. This deck is one of my first decks, so it has, the energy comes out. Page of Wands. There's a message coming in here. Revert, you know, you may need your childlike, youthful energy, and this may be even a calling to, this may even be a calling to, you know, go back to your childhood and find your strengths, and maybe, you know, figure out what it is from your childhood that's got you in this place of toxicity for your own self. If you're toxic for yourself, then you're toxic for everyone around you. And I hate to just throw that word toxic out there. But with the Devil card, upright, Nine of Swords, upright, Justice in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, King of Cups in reverse, Judgment in reverse. It's kind of, you know, I wouldn't want to date you. Let's just say that. That's a lot of baggage. The Empress. So divinely, you are the Empress energy. She's come out sideways too. But even in your Empress energy, you're not necessarily the most balanced. And see how it just landed right underneath the Temperance card, which is all about balance. It's about pouring from one cup to the other to make sure that both cups have. So you may have all the qualities of the Empress, but you're not quite in Empress energy just yet. With the Ace of Swords, there's a message here for you. The Ace of Swords, to me, for me, the Ace of Swords I refer to as my holy word. Because the holy word is like a weapon for me. Not to destroy anything, but it's the weapon that I use against these type of energies. You know, the weapon that I use, or the message that I use to inspire myself, to uplift me, to cut through the knots of bondage here, you know. Because with the Devil energy, you're bound to your desires here, and you feel like you don't have any control over it. But in the Devil card, see, the Devil has lit the torch. He's lit the tail of Adam here, this masculine figure here. And both masculine and feminine have these shackles around their necks. But if you pay close attention, the shackles are loose enough for them to just lift up the bindings. You know, even their fingers are bound, but only really by their own limiting beliefs. Overall energy, the Death card. Yeah, you're getting a message in. You're getting help from childhood friends, somebody maybe that you've known for a long time. And the energy here, I've been picking up that this help is coming in from your ancestors. And they have or your guardian angel, who may have been with you since the time that you have been gone through whatever it is that changed in your childhood that's got you to identify or at least be bound by this energy here. You know, because we go through things in childhood. I was having story time. I was on the phone with a friend just the other day, and I hope if he ever watches this video that he doesn't take it personal. Oh, and the Five of Cups has fell out too. Somebody's crying over spilled milk, and it's easy to succumb to like that kind of depressive state, but it's to focus on the two cups behind you, because those two cups will lead you to the three cups. That is a cause for celebration, collaboration, rejoice. So I was on the phone with a friend the other day, and where was I? What brought up that point? Was it the death card, Empress card? We were talking about childhood traumas. Now, from where we're from, I grew up in an urban inner city community where there are lots and lots and lots of people. And I am of a certain age. I was born in the 90s. And, where I'm from, it kind of gives stereotypical Hollywood propaganda on how black communities are portrayed in poverty, in violence, in the collective thinking, in the mindset of the majority, not of the all, but of the majority. And I was expressing to him, well, he expressed to me some trauma that he had witnessed. Let me not use the word trauma, an experience that he had witnessed in his young age. And, I had to remind him of and share with him something that I too experienced. And I kid you not, I was in kindergarten, and I use the story often now. I don't know, I think it's because it's the most jarring thing. But in kindergarten, we had a school playground, and it was really just an open yard with concrete and a couple of basketball rims with backboards attached to the chain link fence. And it was a big open schoolyard. You could probably fit another school in the schoolyard, in just concrete. And I remember we were either out for recess or we were getting ready for dismissal in the yard, and all of a sudden I hear a whole lot of noise, a whole lot of yelling. And don't tell me how I know at the age of probably 4 or 5 years old, but it is a pimp collecting from his hoe right outside the schoolyard. And any of the authorities or the adults, whether it be the teachers or the deans or the assistant principals, what have you, that were here present in the schoolyard, all they can do was tell us not to look over there. Because there was violence. Apparently the hoe was short. Okay? But I remember that clear as day, like it was yesterday, and it, let's just say it's been at least 2 decades since that's gone through. So I reminded my friend, I said, well, sometimes because it's a part of our environment, we witness things that stick with us, and they are traumatizing because they are not healthy and they are not normal. But because they are a part of our environments, we then over time normalize this type of behavior, these type of energies, which doesn't mean that it's healthy. However, because it's normalized on the outer or the external home, let's say, because everything starts in the home, right? Because it's normal outside of home and normalized outside of home, we start to then bring that normalcy to what happens on the inside of home. And it's harder to recognize what's normal and what's not normal in a home. And if you live in an environment where toxicity is normal, chances are that toxicity has crept into the home. You understand what I'm saying? And so maybe you did have a great childhood, or maybe you had a horrible childhood. It can go either way. And in the moment you didn't realize what you were going through, but a lot of us are really still processing some traumatic experiences that we had to push away for the sake of being able to move on. Subconsciously, because, if you're not really expressing these things, if you're not really evaluating, if you're not reflecting on these things in this way, and you're not seeking counseling, you're not seeking, someone to speak to about these things, a professional who can provide you with the tools that will, give you healthy coping mechanisms. Like it said, start off small, find the things that will, fulfill you in other places to give you the satisfaction that, the attachment to the negativity would, but without attaching to the negativity. It's the same thing. You have to learn and confront what it is that keeps you in a useless attachment before you can walk away from the useless attachment. Okay, because I want to see you guys in the divine feminine energy as represented here in the Empress card. You have all of the characteristics, but you have not found the balance of the Empress. Because the Empress in the tarot deck is both, or is not just both, but all the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the High Priestess put together. So she's very wise, she's very patient, she's very abundant, she's much a giver, she's a caretaker, she has experience, and she's also someone who's decisive and assertive and poised also. She has grace. She's blessed. And she shares her blessings. You're here. You're more so in the Hierophant energy, or can be. How much time has it been? It's not quite an hour. These readings kind of go a little while because I do have to clarify the energy. And the more I clarify, there's a tower coming. I kind of felt that was coming. The Sun card at the bottom of the deck as the overall energy of that tower card. Yeah, so with the tower card, I'll explain it to you. I'm not going to grab the book because I want to keep things moving. The tower card is all about realizing that the things that we have built our foundation on may not be as sturdy as we thought. And so it is to either make the corrections on refortifying that foundation before the tower comes crumbling down, or jumping ship and starting over, essentially, which normally is followed by the Death card. Yeah, you're being called to a tower. Look at yourself, look at your environment, take some time to reflect. Come on, another card here. Yeah, you're deceiving yourself. But the King of Cups is coming. You're walking away from deception, actually. And with the King of Cups in the upright position, see, the Seven of Swords is about deception. It's a deceptive energy. It's about betrayal. But in the reverse position, I get the energy that you're walking away from a deceptive energy, which may be you deceiving yourself, because... Or I can say here that walking away from, or enlightening yourself through this tower moment of what's connecting you with this devil energy, what's got you attached to this useless energy, will bring you to the King of Cups, which is here representation of having heart and mind balance. Having control of your emotions, a good grasp of your emotions, but also thinking logically. That's what the King of Cups represents. Messages coming in with the page. And once you do that, the World card turns upright. The World card turns upright. And then you have twin flame energy here with the Two of Cups. But I really do feel like, when you walk away, when you identify these factors for yourself, and you disassociate with this devil energy and walk away from deceiving yourself, okay, the world then card shines on you with the sun card, right? Because this is like good fortune, good luck with the world card. This is blessings. This is abundance. Two of Cups is about, well, the lovers. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about lovers here, even though this is about twin flame. Meaning that there is somebody that probably is mirroring your energy. Twin flame is not always associated with soulmate energy. Soulmate energy is more lover's energy. But the fact that these two cards came out, you know, if you know, you know. You may be walking into your divine soulmate, but you have to heal first. And the healing is getting real. As my mother would say, get a grip on reality. She used to say get a grip, but as I grew older, I understood she was saying get a grip on reality. Okay, you might be seeking for love. You might be searching for love. You might have been felt betrayed by past lovers. There might have been many connections since childhood that have led you into this deceitful energy. But the only person that you're deceiving is yourself. Okay, and you know that because it's keeping you up at night. You're crying. You're crying, divine feminine energy. Look at that. You can't sleep, and you're crying. And there's something trying to hold on to you too. You may even feel comfortable where you are in this energy. It may be making you feel even more empowered, but let me tell you, that's not the kind of power you want. Because with this Tower card, it's telling you that's a false sense of power. It's going to come crumbling down when SHIT hits the fan. You don't ever want to put yourself in that position, because that is embarrassing. It turns into humiliation. I don't know if you are one of those people who have kinks of humiliation. I am not. Kinks of, seeing people in pleasurable pain, maybe, but humiliation, not at all. That went back in the deck. There's something trying to come out here. I don't know. They're coming out. Yeah. So, I'm going to call back to doing the research, studying up, but then also like enthusiastically seeking this retribution within yourself. And, the inspiration will lead you, once you take that step into what it is that is keeping you attached to this useless energy, you'll be inspired to go down that rabbit hole, because on the other end of that hole is your prosperous journey. I want to stop here, because we do have this card here. I'm going to pack this up too. Divine Feminine Collective, to those who are attracted to the green fluorite cluster, I suggest you look into astrology. And not just astrology for the sake of knowing the zodiac, but astrology in the overall sake of understanding the planetary energies, the energy and characteristics that the planets hold, the characteristics and energy that the houses and the zodiacs hold. And you may find yourself in a better understanding of where you are right now. Because even the devil understands that as above, so below. You see he has one hand here with the torch down, but he has one hand lifted to the heavens. You know, what's happening up in the stars can be reflected here on this plane, which is why for many, many, many thousands of years, ancient civilizations have always used the stars to kind of create what it is that they're going to do here and predict and foretell what's to come. Whether you believe in it or not, I'm here to tell you that it is a very real science, because energy can neither be destroyed nor will it cease to exist. It can just be transferred from one space to the other, or from one object to the other. This was a powerful reading. Somebody needed to hear that. I know it was scary for a little bit, but you've got this, Divine Feminine Collective. Okay, we're going to read this card here. Ah! King of Swords. Alright, let me just read the King of Swords. Because, you know, I was asking for a representation, a card of representation for Divine Feminine Energy. And you may be too much in your feminine energy and being called to balance out, as I started off this reading, with a little bit of masculine energy here. And start thinking logically. You might not be thinking logically, Divine Feminine Energy. You might be thinking with your emotions, strictly, which would logically make sense if emotionally you've been, you know, emotionally you've gone through turmoil since childhood. You understand? I'm not holding anything against you. This poor book is ready to fall apart. Okay, so the King of Swords represents wisdom enhanced by power. The griffin is a noble and intelligent creature, soaring over land and sea, a symbol for patience, perseverance, and judgment. An upright position represents authority, structure, logic, self-discipline, and loyalty. Divine Feminine Collective, that is your reading. I hope this finds you well. Remember to pray and drink plenty of water. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste.